Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. Today is my first episode of Let's Talk Authors, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time and just never got around to starting it. So for this one, I want to talk about Stephen King. I know you all know by now that Stephen King is my favorite author, and I don't think that he will ever be replaced, although there are some authors that are really close. But Stephen King is such a diverse author, and he writes such a great range of genres, and his books are always so engaging. I've only had a problem with a couple books, one being From a Buick 8, and another one, Black House, that he wrote with Peter Straub. I didn't care for that one. Some of them are more memorable than others, but I think his strongest point in writing is his characters. He has such well-developed characters, and you know, even if the book itself is not that memorable, his characters always seem to be. And I love that. I love when I can think back, oh, I remember that character, or I remember who he was. And most of his characters are like that, and I just love that. Characters are a big deal to me, and I think by now you probably know that. Books with good plots are fantastic, but you know, if you have great characters along with the good plot line, then you have a superb, brilliantly written book. And I think Stephen King does that so well. He's just, like I said before, he's very diverse, and I think he could write a romance if he really had to write a romance. I would really like to see him try it and check it out. A lot of people don't read Stephen King because they don't like scary horror stories. I try to stress to people that Stephen King is more than just horror. He writes many different themed books with different, you know, stories that aren't even close to what a horror would be. Some of his better non-horror books to me is 11/22/63. Joyland was really good. Under the Dome. Geez, there's so many of them, but I think those three are probably my favorite non-scary books. Oh, and the Dark Tower series. I absolutely love the Dark Tower series, which is also not really a scary series. It's got a whole bunch of different genres in that. So, you know, in that series you got Western, you got some romance in there, you got fantasy, you got mystery. I mean, it's just, I think everybody could enjoy that series a lot because it's very engaging, and it's a journey. It really is a journey, and you look forward to going into the next phase of that journey. So yeah, what I want to do now is show you the books that I have of Stephen King and let you know which ones, you know, were my favorites, and you know, maybe those that weren't as memorable to me as others, and that sort of thing. So let's talk authors. Let's start here with The Stand by Stephen King. This is a beautiful book. I had not seen this edition, and I got this in a book swap. I believe it was Andrea that I did the book swap with, and it's just a beautiful edition of The Stand. I think I read The Stand in 2013. Okay, so we're gonna come over here, and we've got Cell. Du McKee, loved that book. And then we got Just After Sunset and 4 Past Midnight. Those two are collections. We have Tommyknockers, Cujo, The Regulators, Gerald's Game, Desperation, Carrie, which everybody knows is a movie, and then it had a remake. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which I thought that was in a collection, but I don't know what collection that was. We've got The Dark Half and Insomnia. And then here we've got The Mist, which is one of my favorite short stories of his. That is in the collection of Skeleton Crew. Everything's Eventual, which is another collection. Hearts in Atlantis. This book right here, I don't really remember a whole lot about it, but I didn't really care for it at the time I read it, and I think that was because I was not in the mood for it. Okay, so then up here we've got the Dark Tower series, start with a Gunslinger. The Drawing of the Three, The Wastelands, Wizard and Glass, and then Over here, The Wolves of the Kala, Song of Susanna, and The Dark Tower. That is a fantastic series. Everybody should experience that. It's fantastic. Okay, and then we got The Skeleton Crew, The Dead Zone, Dreamcatcher. I can remember watching the movie of that and just being disgusted. It was a good movie. The book was good. It was a little out there, I think. And then we've got Rose Madder. Then moving down to this shelf, we have Nightmare and Dreamscapes, another beautiful edition. This is a collection of short stories. I got this book from our used bookstore, which is a half-price bookstore. And I got this for $2. It was on sales rack. So, yeah, I'm so glad that I went that day and they had this one out there. And then over here we've got Dolores Claiborne, which I just read last year. Very memorable character. She's just an awesome, beautifully created character. This was a fantastic book. And then back here, if you can see, it's really dark right there. 11/22/63, Joyland, Lissy's Story, which I want to do a reread on this. It's been so long since I've read it, and I don't remember a whole lot. I mean, we're talking years ago, so I want to reread that one. Here's Night Shift, which is also another collection. And then there's It, which is my favorite book, as everybody knows. I would love to get this in a hardbound first edition. They're hard to come by, so we'll see. Different Seasons, which is another collection. I've not read that collection yet. The Long Walk. And then we've got The Running Man and Roadwork. Those are all in the Bachman books, which you see right here. There's one more that is Rage. You can no longer get that. Stephen King asked for it to be taken off the shelves and taken out of print because it was related to 4 school shootings. So you can no longer get Rage. I think you can get the Bachman books, and they are printing that without Rage in it, the last time I heard. So that could just be rumor. I don't know for sure. But yes, there's the Bachman books. It has all those books in it. The Long Walk, The Running Man, and Roadwork. And they are all fantastic books, but The Long Walk was my favorite. Great storytelling in that one. Okay, and then we got The Shining, which is, you know, one of the scarier books. And then Bag of Bones, which is more mystery. And then here we've got The Talisman and then Black House right here. Those are the, this is the first book. That is the second book. This is the one that he wrote with Peter Straub. Loved The Talisman. Did not care all that much for Black House. And I think it is that The Talisman had more of a Stephen King influence, I think, and then The Black House more influenced by Peter Straub. So that's the only thing I can guess on that. And then we've got Salem's Lot, again, a book that I really, really want to read again. And then here's my paperback version of The Stand. It's a huge book. This is actually the one that I read. Okay, and then, of course, there's Black House. And then up here, we've got Green Mile. And when these first came out, they came out in small installments. They were little tiny books. And they finally put them all in a bind-up. And the movie, of course, I enjoyed that a lot, too. And then Pet Sematary is another one that people are really scared by. I think it's more a book of dealing with loss. To me, it was more sad than scary. Okay, then we got Christine, which I've not read. I've only watched the movie. And then, of course, Running Man and Roadwork. From a Buick 8. No, I didn't care for that, but I probably won't get rid of the book because Stephen King is my favorite author. So I will end up hanging on to the book. Needful Things is another one of my favorite books. Haven't read it in a long time. Would like to do a reread. Also love The Eyes of the Dragon. Also very good. It's more fantasy than anything. And then here is my paperback of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And then over here in the corner, we've got Under the Dome and Dr. Sleep. I don't have Revival on here. It's on my my wrap-up shelf right now because that was one of the, it was like the second book I read in February. Sorry for all the broken spines and stuff. They're not pretty, but they're mine. And I don't have a problem with broken spines, as you guys well know. I have my Stephen King collection, and there are still other books that I have not gotten yet for that collection. So I'm always getting Stephen King books whenever I can get a hold of them. I usually get them from our used bookstore because I can get them at a better price. I still need to get his newer book, Mr. Mercedes, which came out, I believe it was last year. Yeah, it was last year, I believe. And I have not read that one yet. I need to get that one. But I really wanted to read Revival first, so I got that one for Christmas. But yeah, that is my Stephen King collection. That is my discussion on Stephen King, my favorite author. He is very good at what he does, and I'd like to get more people wanting to read Stephen King books. Don't let it put you off because you think he's all horror, because he's really not. And that's all I have for you today, guys. I don't know who I'll have next time, but there will be another one coming your way soon. If you've read Stephen King, if you like Stephen King, then let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. So thanks, guys, for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.